Good day. My name is Alan, Chief Strongblood Palmer. Chief Strongblood. St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son, the Diaspora Machismo. On the 2nd of February 2022, a young man by the name of CJ Weeks, 18 years old, got involved in an altercation with the members of the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines police force, having a vehicle accident, and he later succumbed to the injuries of that accident. It was revealed that CJ suffered a spinal injury which left him paralyzed from his chest down, and he also suffered a broken leg and other injuries. There are too many unanswered questions around the circumstances under which CJ Weeks saw his demise. What we know so far, and the information that I'm relating to you, is the dying declaration of CJ as it was relayed to his mother and to his sister. CJ's mother, Natasha, said that her son went to Kittels to purchase a tire for his motorcycle. Unfortunately for the youth, he purchased the wrong size motorcycle tire. On the 2nd of February 2022, CJ was traveling back to Kittels, where he purchased a tire to make an exchange of the product. He was in the presence of a friend. It is unclear whether his friend was a pinion rider or whether his friend was riding an independent motorbike of CJ's. However, on reaching Lomans Hill, a SUV was in front of the vehicle CJ was driving, and the police attempt to stop what CJ thought was the vehicle in front of him. Seeing that the police did not have any lawful reason for stopping CJ decided to overtake the SUV so the police can deal with the driver as he thought they was. However, he recognized that the police were in pursuit of him and was trying to stop him. The youth did not stop because he said he did not have his driver's permit, and his companion did not have his driver's permit with him either. As I said earlier, there is no information to suggest the friend that accompanied CJ on this trip was either a pinion rider or he was riding his own motorcycle. CJ relayed to his mother that at one point in time, one of the police officers hit him in his chest with his hands. That is during the chase. I'm not sure if it's that blow that caused the young man to lose control of his vehicle. CJ also reported to his mother that the police did not ease upon him, meaning that the police was constantly under him, did not have a chance to make a mistake. CJ also related to his mother that when he fell, the police vehicle ran over him and he was under the vehicle collar. He also told his mother when the police take him out, they grab him up and they throw him in the police transport. For some strange reason, the police transport could not move from the area. Therefore, a resident of the neighborhood where the accident took place came to the scene of the accident with his vehicle. The police put CJ in the resident vehicle, and the resident, accompanied by a police officer, took CJ to the hospital. They landed him in the lobby of the emergency room and they left. No explanation was given as to what happened to CJ, and no one stayed with him during the time at the hospital. We can only go by what CJ mother and sister told us as it's related to CJ's dying declaration, because the police have been quite quiet on this matter. CJ's mother disclosed that she is employed by the Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Ralph Gonsalves, and she declared that she was working in his house. She did not say whether she is a cook, a cleaner, or a sex slave. You may ask, Alan, why did you have to go there? We cannot take nothing out of the realms of possibility, and I will tell you why. I worked under the supervision of a man named Mr. Kwashi. His first name is not important, neither his rank. Mr. Kwashi worked at the Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves' house as a cook, and Ralph Gonsalves used to be taking sexual liberty upon that lady. She was fearful of telling her husband what Ralph Gonsalves was doing each time he come home for lunch. So I am not speaking anything out of term, because there's a possibility that CJ's mom could be working at Ralph Gonsalves' residence as a sex slave. In the same way, he had Miss Kwashi working there. The weeks brought this incident of CJ's accident and death to the Prime Minister's attention, and she was seeking the Prime Minister's help to get some answers on this matter. As is expected in a small community, Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves got involved. He instructed the Commissioner of Police, Colin John, to do an investigation into the matter. This was been a very simple investigation. As far as my knowledge goes, Colin John, the Commissioner of Police of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, informed Natasha Weeks that the investigation is completed. After the Commissioner of Police have declared that the investigation was finished and a report was ready for Natasha Weeks to collect, that she can find out what the police have discovered about her son's death. When she got to the Commissioner's office, after waiting about an hour or so, she was told that the report is not yet completed. After Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves, the Minister of National Security, would have instructed the Commissioner of Police to conduct an investigation into a matter and to make the findings of investigation available to CJ's mother, what would have caused Colin John to change his mind? And 3 weeks later, Natasha Weeks have not yet received a report to find out what are the official findings as it relates to her son's death. Natasha Weeks is now complaining that the autopsy results does not reflect the injury that she saw on her son's body. For example, she claimed, and she have shown pictures, that CJ Weeks had burns about his body. The autopsy report does not declare that CJ Weeks had burns upon his body or give an explanation as to where those burns mark would have come from. So therefore, we see it seems like the Commissioner and the Prime Minister have something to hide as it relates to CJ Weeks' death. I am declaring here, it is the Prime Minister and Minister of National Security, Ralph Gonsalves, that instructed Colin John not to present the report to CJ Weeks' mother. We all know that Ralph Gonsalves is the chief micromanager. He micromanages so much that he is unable to do the job that the people are paying him to do. Colin John, as Commissioner of Police, will never disobey a direct order from the Prime Minister. If the Prime Minister instructs Colin John to have an investigation done at a certain time and ensure that he provide the findings of the investigation or the file to CJ Weeks' mother, he will do it. And if Ralph Gonsalves called him later and told him not to give her the file, he will not do it, and he will carry the blame as most bureaucrats do. So while CJ's mother is running back and forth to Ralph Gonsalves for help, Ralph Gonsalves is the very man who is hindering her progress so she can get on with her life. Natasha Weeks is employed with Ralph Gonsalves, and she's taking care of business within his home, whatever that business is. You would have thought that after she would have lost her son under such tragic circumstances, Ralph Gonsalves would have it in his heart to give that lady some bereavement time off of the job with pay so that she can mourn for her son and so that she can find out what actually happened to her son. This lady was so frustrated and stressed out that she had to resign her post of being a domestic worker, working in Ralph Gonsalves' house, in order for she to get the time to deal with all the stress of mourning, the stress of dealing with a police force that is uncooperative with her, a stress that is dealing with a police force who is trying to cover up something suspicious about her son's death. You would have to ask yourself, what kind of beast Prime Minister Ralph Gonsalves is to not to only to have the empathy to empathize with this lady who is in a state of bereavement, who is in a state of mourning, to not only even give her a month off so she can deal with the situation that she's now confronting, a situation that is weighing heavily on her entire family. He's not only a beast, he is wicked, he is really and truly a child of Lucifer. Here we have this grieving mother is being put through the ringer by the police, the institution that is responsible for protecting life and property, and to ensure that when a crime is committed, it is properly investigated, the offenders are brought to justice and are prosecuted if such is needed. But instead, the police are now behaving like a gang of criminals, and they are covering up criminal activities that is committed by their own. Let me make this clear. In order for Natasha to be employed in Ralph Gonsalves' house in whatever capacity she is employed in, she has to be one of Ralph Gonsalves' torn supporters. She is probably one of Ralph Gonsalves' rape victims. She's probably one of those people who have been supporting the evil that is meted out on members of the public by Ralph Gonsalves, his government, the police force, and the bureaucrats that relate into doing illegal and unlawful activities on his behalf. She has been supporting these things. That is the only reason Ralph Gonsalves has her in his house, working in whatever capacity she is working in, like Mr. Cornelius John, who have been supporting all of Ralph Gonsalves' wickedness for all of the years. Now she is becoming a victim of the same victimization she has supported. If CJ's death was as a result of a motor vehicle accident, then it must be investigated as an accident, and the person who was negligent in this accident must be held liable for their negligence in a civil court. However, if the actions of the police officer were as such that it constitutes a crime, then someone must be held liable for CJ Weeks' death. One of the things that should be outlined in this report under no uncertain terms is what were the suspected offense police were pursuing CJ Weeks on, and if that offense was worth catching CJ Weeks at all costs. The probable cause, the justifiable reason, was suspected in committing this offense. On this file, there must be a statement from CJ Weeks' companion. All of the police in the vehicle at the time of the chase must also give a detailed statement. The residents of the area that saw the police chasing this young man and his motorcycle must also be contacted, and a statement must be taken from them also. The homeowner who saw the incident, who drove his vehicle to the scene, that aided the police in the transportation of CJ Weeks to the hospital, a statement must be there from him also. Dying declaration from CJ Weeks' mother, his sister, and any staff that he spoke to, even in helping them to treat him and telling them what happened to him. My people, do you think Ralph Gonsalves is trying to intentionally stress out this young mother by having the Commissioner of Police withhold the file from her? Let me know, what are your opinions on this matter? I would like for you to share this video, leave a comment, and like the video if you like it. My name is Alan Chief Strongblood Palmer. Strongblood, St. Vincent and the Grenadines' favorite and most hated son, the Diaspora Machismo.